Now, I saw the agree to degree sign. Do you guys have the 15 to finish here too? Are they trying to push that on this campus? Does that really work for most of your students? Okay, just checking. Didn't work. Yeah,
Why not?
It did not work for Maui students.
Why doesn't it work for your students?
Because they're working and they have families and they don't have time to take 15 credits at once.
Ooh.
What you said.
Yes, so because they're very, very busy taking 15 credits, and if they're not prepared with the time management and study skills and all of that to manage 15 credits at once, even if they don't have those things, they need time to ease into understanding how to navigate a college environment before they're ready to dive into 5 classes or 15 credits at once.
I agree. That I think that ties into what Sharon was saying earlier about how we need administration to view us as a system, because 15 to finish basically applies to Manoa. I was originally thinking, okay, it's maybe Manoa and West Oahu and Hilo, and I've talked to people at West Oahu and Hilo, and they're like, no, those aren't our students. We don't, most of ours are working too. So really, it's a very small demographic at Manoa at this point too. I mean, because we don't really have that traditional, it's not colleges, it's just 18 to 22-year-olds anymore. It's very different.
We also have a statistical problem where there are courses that even if you took 15 credits every semester, you still won't graduate in 2 years. So it's a lie for some programs.
We took the term 2-year degree out of our description of the liberal arts associates because that made too many of us grumpy. We're like, no, this is not, why does it have to finish in 2 years? We called it a 60 credit or something, whatever the credit number is, when we took away 2 year.
So if the feds change their way of supporting students to do it, say, by credit hour plus to help, would that help solve it, or?
I think any kind of cookie cutter approach is not going to work. I mean, what we're finding out in these discussions is that the diversity of our student population, the diversity of our programs needs to be respected in its diversity, and that anybody coming from on high who wants to say, this is what, here's a template, y'all got to fit in it, and this is how we're going to fund you, is not going to work.
You're dealing with the Department of Education, which just does blocks.
Feeling like we should get rid of it.
Well, she sounds like
get rid of them too. The whole point of this conversation is how do we take back our profession and our institutions, not how do we defer it to Washington, D.C.
For a long time, not just in colleges, but also in high schools, secondary elementary schools, it seems to me that what the higher ups, administrators, and the people with the control who hold the money that want to do is just the easy way to count the students, the easy way to see who's doing well. In elementary and secondary schools, they focus on test scores because that's an easy number they can just pull out. You just test them in mass and you don't have to work that hard, or they don't have to work that hard. You got these teachers that spend hours and hours proctoring these tests and grading them, but administrators don't have to work that hard. In the colleges, easy thing to count is the graduation. They don't want to seek or work to count or find a way to figure out how to track the people who take a few courses, maybe take a few carpentry courses, and then go get a job. They don't need the degree. They take some automotive courses and then they go work in the industry. They just need the knowledge. The industry doesn't care if they have a degree or that paper. As long as you can do these things, you're hired and you got your job, and they go from there. So there needs to be a way to track those students, and we need to convince the higher ups and even WASC that those are important also.